Hey guys, welcome back. This is going to be my 12-week update. Okay, my neck is still killing me. It hasn't hurt really for like the last couple days, and I did something today. I don't know what I did, but I lifted my arm a certain way and something popped. So yeah. So for 12 weeks, I feel like I still am never going to get over that cold. The baby is about the size of a lime. Let's see, what else does it say for week 12? The most dramatic development this week is reflexes. Your baby's fingers will soon begin to open and close. His toes will curl, his eye muscles will clench, and his mouth will make sucking movements. In fact, if you prod your abdomen, your baby will squirm in response, although you won't be able to feel it. His intestines, which have grown so fast that they protrude into the umbilical cord, will start to move into his abdominal cavity about now, and his kidneys will begin excreting urine into his bladder, his or hers. Meanwhile, nerve cells are multiplying rapidly and synapses are forming furiously in your baby's brain. His face looks unquestionably human, his eyes have moved from the sides to the front, and his ears are right where they should be. From crown to rump, your baby to be is just over 2 inches long, about the size of a lime, and weighs half an ounce. Your uterus has grown to where your healthcare provider can now feel the top of it, which is the fundus, low in your abdomen just above your pubic bone. You may already be wearing maternity clothes, especially if this isn't your first pregnancy. Even if you're not ready for a new wardrobe, you've no doubt noticed that your waist is thickening and that you're more comfortable in loose, less restrictive clothing. Oh my gosh, my arm. You may begin to feel heartburn, a burning sensation that often extends from the bottom of your breastbone to your lower throat. Many women get heartburn for the first time during pregnancy, and those who've previously had bouts of heartburn may find that it gets worse. I've never had heartburn with any of my kids. During pregnancy, the placenta produces a lot of hormone progesterone, which relaxes the valve that separates the esophagus from the stomach. Particularly when you're lying down, gastric acid can seep back up the pipe, which causes the uncomfortable burning sensation. For many women, heartburn doesn't begin or get worse until later in pregnancy, when your growing uterus starts to push up on your stomach. Don't worry if you're having more vaginal discharge than usual. This is common. What you're noticing is most likely leucorrhea, I think that's how you say it, an odorless or mild-smelling milky substance. You probably had this discharge before pregnancy too. There's just a lot more of it now, partly because of increased estrogen production and greater blood flow to the vaginal area. This discharge is made up of secretions from the cervix and vagina, old cells from the walls of the vagina, and normal bacteria flora from the vagina. Not to be TMI, but it's not like, because it says like you'll notice it in your, I don't have that. Like I have it like when I go to the bathroom, like when I pee and wipe, there'll be like a little bit of the like slimy stuff, but that's it. So it's not too bad. Oh my gosh, this pain in my neck. No heartburn. Let's see. That's if you have signs of stuff, if you're thinking of infection. Sit down and make a baby budget. Okay, we don't need to go through any of that stuff. That's like if you have signs or symptoms of something, what to do. And if you're pregnant and you have signs or symptoms, go ahead and Google them on like a baby app and see what it says to do. Okay, as for me personally, I have not taken Zofran in 2 weeks. Oh my gosh, my arm. I've not taken Zofran in 2 weeks. My nausea is pretty much gone. I haven't gotten like slight headaches, but nothing like bad. Nothing that I even want to take anything for. I'm not like a pill taker anyways. I just had my appointment on Thursday, and I was telling my doctor that trying to sleep on my left side all the time is killing my neck. I think I'm sleeping. He said, he said that sleeping on your left side is mainly during the end of your pregnancy and if you have high blood pressure. He said you don't have to sleep on just your left side and try to do that like your whole pregnancy. He said sleep however is comfortable. I said, well, I was reading baby apps. He said, yeah. He said some of those things just need updated because they're just, it's the way it's been for like forever, and you know, new studies change things, but like the baby center apps don't update, I don't think, as frequently as they find things out. I mean, gosh, they'd be updating them all the time. But he said, yeah, he said don't worry about that, sleep however I'm comfortable. It doesn't have to be on my left side. I forgot to have him check my leg vein, but it's like varicose, like where it's messed up, like it's like going even farther, like varicosing even farther. Does that make any sense? Let's see. Still, like, no food cravings. Like, today I'm craving like beef. I don't know why, but all I can think about is a big old juicy cheeseburger. Not like Burger King or McDonald's. Like a full-on, sorry, like a full-on, like, Five Guys big old juicy burger. I don't really have anything. I've been having really weird dreams of, like, people that I haven't seen in years. I've been dreaming about, like, people from my past. Not, like, important, but, like, people I went to high school with, just random things. I've been in a pretty good mood. I've just been super tired, which is, you know, expected. Some days I clean all day and then do some exercise, and other days I can barely even function all day. Right now I'm just trying to sit to where this doesn't hurt. Let's see. I don't really think I have any, like, signs or symptoms. So at my appointment on Thursday, a month ago I weighed in at 149. Thursday, today's Saturday, I weighed in at 149.8. I was 12 weeks in 1 day, so now I'm 12 weeks in 3 days. My blood pressure was 114/70. The baby's heart rate was 161. Okay, so at my appointment, he went to use the Doppler to check the baby's heartbeat. Like, the lady came in and everything was fine. It was so funny, though, because I had to check my sugar. Yes, I had to do my sugar check, and my sugar was 106. So I'm in the clear. It had to be under 130, and I'm, like, way in the clear. My sugar was great, so I don't have to watch what I eat. I don't have to check my sugar. I mean, I don't have to, like, count my carbs. So I got back in the room after we checked my sugar, and, like, I was so excited. And we're sitting there, and the nurse is like, Angela? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, are you 40? And the way she said it, I thought that she was going to tell me, like, there's something going on. I'm like, yeah, I'm 40. She's like, oh my gosh. She's like, I never would have guessed that. She's like, I would have thought you were 28. She goes, I literally thought I had the wrong chart. She's like, I was wondering how I got into the wrong person's chart. I said, oh, well, thank you. I said, I hear it a lot that I don't look 40. And we kind of laughed about it. And then, like, after she left, she was walking out of the room to leave, and there was, like, another nurse out there, and she's like, hey, so-and-so. She's like, come in here. She's like, how old do you think Angela is? And I was like, what? And the lady's kind of like, And I said, it's okay. I said, nothing you say is going to, like, offend me. And she's like, I don't know. Just tell me. And the nurse that I had, she's like, she's 40. And she's like, what? She's like, I would have guessed, like, 28. And she's like, that's what I said. So I was like, well, I said, you guys just made my day great. I'm like, you both think I look 28. My sugar is great. It's going to be a good day. So we were all laughing about that. Well, then the doctor came in, and he put the thing on, and he's listening. And he's like, he doesn't hear anything. And he's listening, and I could hear my heartbeat. I'm like, that's mine. And he's like, yeah? He's like, sometimes it's kind of hard to find. He said, you're on the verge of where you're able to hear it from the Doppler and where you're not, like, depending, because I'm just at 12 weeks. He said that's, like, the borderline point of when you can hear it and when you can't. And he probably tried for 5 minutes, and I started to get tears in my eyes. I told Jay when we got in there, I said, my fear is that they're not going to be able to find a heartbeat. I said, I've always had that fear at every appointment with both girls and now with this baby. And then here they couldn't find, and they've never been able to not find a heartbeat, like, on any appointment ever. So I started getting my tears in my eyes. He's like, don't worry. He said, to be honest, I don't have a concern whatsoever. He said, I'm not worried whatsoever. He said, you're like I said, you're at the borderline point of where you can hear it and where you can't. He's like, so don't worry. And he kept checking for a few more minutes, and tears just started pouring down my face. And I'm like, I'm trying not to worry, but, like, that's my biggest fear. And to know, it's like, okay. He's like, well, you haven't had any cramping. He's like, you haven't been bleeding. He's like, so, but in my mind, it's like, okay, I'm not nauseous anymore. Like, is something going on? Like, so I'm terrified. He was probably 5 minutes. Like, he kept trying all over the place. And then he said, to ease your mind and so you can sleep tonight and so we can just double check. He said, I'm going to go ahead and have him, order an ultrasound. And I was like, okay. He's like, but don't worry. He's like, I have no fear whatsoever that something's wrong. He said, I'm pretty sure. He's like, everything's probably fine. He said, the lady will come in here and take you for ultrasound. He said, as long as everything's okay, you don't have to wait for me. I'll see you in a month. He said, but if by chance something is wrong, he said, then I'll, just wait for me to come back in the room to talk to you. So then my heart, like, sank. It's like, oh my God. And Jay's like, don't freak out. He's like, calm down. I'm like, you're not worried? He's like, no. He's like, the doctor just said he's not worried. Okay, you can't help it. So the lady comes in, she takes us over and do ultrasound. And, like, as soon as she started moving the wand around, I mean, instantly the baby was right there. You could see the fluttering heartbeat. So it's like instantly I could breathe. Like, I'm like, that's all I needed. Like, it's scary when the doctor's trying to find a heartbeat and you can't find it. Like, and he kept saying, don't worry, this is fine. But you can't help but worry. So she's looking, and like as we're looking, the baby kicks both feet out and the baby's moving its arms. Like, it's crazy because the baby's only like 2 to 4 inches long. Like, how can you see all of this so far? And you could see like the little nose sticking out, and the baby would open its mouth, and then the baby stretched, and it was like, it's just amazing. Like, the whole thing is just amazing. And she's doing, you know, doing stuff and looking around, and she's like, that's what it is. She said you have an anterior placenta. I think that's what it's called, where the placenta was in front of the baby, so that's why he couldn't find a heartbeat. She said, now that's not going to move. It's always going to be like that. She said, as my uterus moves up, it'll kind of tilt up a little bit, but the placenta is always going to be in front of the baby. So it might take me longer to feel baby's movements, and they might have a hard time finding the heartbeat each time. I don't know. So she's going through, and Jay's like, and you can see it plays, and Jay's like, oh my God, is that the nose? And she's like, yeah, you know, the nose is starting to stick out off the face. You can see it plain as day. So she takes a few pictures, and as soon as she's done, she's like, I'm going to go do your paperwork. I'll be back in. So what Jay was referring to, I mean, this was like the funniest thing ever. So what Jay was referring to is at the one point, and she got a picture of it too. So you're looking at the baby from the side. Well, let me show you that picture last, even though it's so freaking hilarious. So here is, come on people. So here is my little baby. The little hand is up by its face, and you can see he's got his legs in the air and his little foot, and you can see the little nose sticking out. Like, I don't know. it doesn't matter how many times I see it ultrasound, it's just the most amazing thing. And here you can see in this picture, the baby's arms up and the legs. And on this one, it's just like from the waist up, you can, plain as day, see the baby's arm. I mean, on this one, you can even see the baby's fingers. Like, well, I don't know if you'll be able to tell on the camera, but you can see the baby's fingers in this picture right here. You can see the bones. But what Jay was referring to, did I show this one yet? See the baby's arm is up by its face. The picture that Jay was referring to, in the very first picture that she snapped, I'm gonna die laughing. So the baby had its arm up, like by its face, so kind of like this view. Okay, so you've seen the baby from this side, and the baby had its arm up to, and where the hand looked just like a nose, and the baby's mouth is open. So in like where the mouth is open, you can kind of see the arm between. So this is what it looks like. Jay and I laughed so freaking hard. Look at this picture. Is that not the creep? It's Freddy Krueger. Like, I swear to God, I was like, oh my God, it looks like Freddy Krueger. So it looks like it has a huge nose. It looks like the mouth is open with teeth and like it's laughing at us. Like my friends I posted on Facebook, they're like, oh my God, you need to like Photoshop Freddy Krueger's hat on the head. But we laughed so hard. So this is actually the baby's left hand up by its face. And you see part of the arm like through the open mouth. It's like behind the mouth, so it looks like teeth. But Jay and I, we had tears pouring down our face. It was like the funniest thing ever. Like I swear the whole office probably they had to have heard us, because we were like, Jay's like, what the hell is that? What is in there? And we are dying laughing. And the lady comes in and Jay's like, we have a question. And I'm like, no, he has a question. And Jay's like, is that the nose? And she's like, no. She's like, that's the baby's hand. She said the nose is like the little tiny thing that sticks out. She goes, that's the baby's hand. And Jay's like, but look, it looks like it's got a big nose and the mouth is open with teeth, like it's laughing at us. I said, yeah, like Freddy Krueger. And she's like, you guys are looking way too much into that picture. But that is exactly what it looks like. Is that not the creepiest freaking ultrasound picture ever? I mean, obviously, everything is normal, but we laughed and laughed, and then she was laughing, and she said, well, I had a baby earlier, and the angle, they were looking at something specific, and the angle that they had the camera at, excuse me, the face kind of like it went out. She said it looked like Darth Vader. She's like, so, she said, I already had a Darth Vader baby. She's like, and now I have a Freddy Krueger baby. I'm like, well, it's the weekend of the 13th in October. But I mean, we laughed so hard, and like everybody that has seen that picture on Facebook is like, oh my God, that's so funny. So I don't know, to us, it's like the funniest thing in the world. I'm going to check and make sure my camera's still going because the battery wasn't charged, and then I'm going to show you a belly shot. Oh, I think my camera's going to die because I don't see the battery. Okay, so I'm still at the same weight. Hurry, hurry before my camera dies. Hopefully you'll be able to see my belly. So here's my belly. Like I said, I'm a little bit overweight. So part of my belly is just from being overweight. But yeah, here's my 12-week belly, I keep having more broken capillaries pop up. Like this one just popped up yesterday. It started itching and then in no time it was there. Yeah. They're all over. But yeah, that is my 12-week belly. This was my 12-week update. It was just pretty comical. It went from my heart sinking and being terrified to us laughing so hard for so long about Freddie. So now we just keep calling it Fred. Fred Swink, little baby Freddie. I know it's not really funny, but it is funny. You just have to, I mean, we mean it like in all jokiness, but seriously, that picture, if you see anything, if you don't see Freddy Krueger in that picture, then I think you have issues. But yeah, I can't breathe. And that is the end of this video. So I thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe and click that bell so you'll know every time I post a pregnancy update. I do them weekly. Well, I missed a couple weeks, but it was just chaos. But other than that, I plan on doing it weekly. And yeah, I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. We're almost at 5,000, guys. Bye.